Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Friday. It's been a wild 24, 48 hours. Obviously Bitcoin has come down. It's now up. So we'll look at the miners as well. We'll take a look at, we'll look at the miners. We'll look at Bitcoin, see what it's doing. And then we'll look at Cleanspark numbers for their production in January. And then in the coming videos, we'll do Hive, Marathon, and Riot. And then we're still waiting on like Mawson and Argo and somebody else to also provide theirs. So got a lot to talk about here, so let's get into it. And as always, it is not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research, please. Don't fall for scams. Spam posts get reported and deleted, and I'm invested in the following companies and coins just for full transparency. All right, let's get into it here. So here's Bitcoin. Obviously, we crashed down under the support here of 37,500 yesterday. And the day before, and then yesterday we tried making it up a little bit here. We came close to it, but couldn't muster the strength to get above it. And then obviously today, Friday, we bounced huge on it. So that was obviously exciting to watch and happen. I was a little skeptical on it, see what was going to happen, but also a little worried that we just went up too fast, too high, too fast. So we'll take a look at the 1 hour chart here, see how it played out. So obviously in the morning here around 9 o'clock, we started pumping pretty good. Before that, even in the morning hours and late last night, around 2300 hours, we started going above our resistance here of 70 or 37,500 roughly. We came across it, we moved across it, and then we traded sideways for several hours, came back down, retested it, and then finally started going back up above it. And then we came close here around 11 o'clock. I think this is UTC time, if I'm not mistaken. Here we came pretty close to touching our next support line, which was 40,500 roughly. I have it at 40,682, but it's really close to that 40,600 mark. And we touched it a couple, or we came close a couple of times here on the hour chart. We finally touched it here on right around 12 o'clock, so that was right around noon. And then we started going above it, came back down to retest it, and then finally just in the last last hour or so, we finally crossed way over it, and now we started the new day in way over the green on the 40,600 resistance. So now that is our support. So one of the things that kind of concerned me here was when I was looking at the chart, was looking at the RSI and where we are right now. So if we zoom out here, the RSI is obviously here. We are at 56 or so. Last time we were right around this range was back here, and we were much, much higher in price. We were at that point at 64,000. So that has me a little bit concerned that we've gone up too high, too fast on the daily chart. We mean to see a little pullback, maybe in a couple of weeks or a couple of days. We might see a little pullback, get that down a little bit, take a breather maybe, hopefully. But on the 1 hour chart, if we look at it as well, we can see that we are way overbought right now, which is obviously a concern. So we are probably due for a pullback. Hopefully we don't pull back too far below our support here. Otherwise, this is probably going to get wiped out, and we'll see if we have a, what do they call it, a double bottom possibly. But if we look at the chart here, last time we were this high on the RSI has been for quite a while. Last time we were at this range was right around here when we were at 51,000 or so. So something to keep an eye on. And then the thing that I'm looking at here is price action here. So from this point to this point, it looks like we were down here on price on the RSI, but we were also down on price. So I'm looking for where we have down RSI and increase in price. I'm trying to find it here in the charts, and the only thing I can see was maybe here. We have a little bit of a time span where we kind of went up just barely, and the RSI was relatively flat on it. Other than that, so something to be mindful of, something I'm keeping an eye on. I'm concerned about it. So, and we are seeing that candle switch to red a little bit here right now. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum right now is at 2,981. It was obviously nicely up as well on the day. We had a little dip here in the afternoon hours, and then or pre-afternoon hours, and we started going back up. So we are at, let me see, I think I had a trend line here drawn kind of on the 1 hour chart, and obviously we've broken past that trend line, it looks like. So on the daily chart, if we look at it, that we can see the trend line a little bit here, and we've broken past that. So hopefully that's a good sign, good bullish sign going forward. So we'll have to see how Ethereum does as well. All right, let's take a look at the Bitcoin miners revenue here for today. Let's reload this page. So revenue is still 34 million per day, it looks like. And total hash rate, want to see if that, see that's starting to increase as well. And on the raw values, it is going up as well. So we're seeing higher lows, higher lows, and the price is increasing, or hash rate is increasing as well. All right, so let's take a look at the miners here, see how they did on the day. So Argo was up 8.71% to 103. Nice day, obviously, for them. Bitfarms was up 12% to 381. Cleanspark was up 8.41% to 683. Cores was up 4.89 to 944. DigiHost was up 13%. It's a nice increase there for them. They are at 428, and they are obviously battling now with the 50-day moving average here on the chart. DMG was up 9.5%. They're still below the 20-day moving chart here. They are at 47.5 cents. Hive was up 7.53% to $2, and they are also battling with the 20-day moving average here. Hut 8 was up 12.28% to 649. They are above the 20-day moving average chart. We'll see if they can continue this trend up and stay above it going forward. Iris was up 5.2 to 13.15. Marathon was up 10.84% to 23.51, and they are below the 20-day moving chart. Mawson is still above the 20-day moving chart. They're still above it. They were up 3.98% to 522. And finally, we got Riot. Riot is now testing the 20-day moving chart. They were up 12% to 1657. So all the miners were in the green today. Obviously, Bitcoin had a huge impact on it for all these stocks going up, which is great to see. And I think hopefully a lot of you guys that bought the dip are seeing positive returns. Okay, so let's take a look at Cleanspark here. So Cleanspark announces January 2022 Bitcoin production. Bitcoin production operation updates. This is unaudited. So January monthly production was 305 BTC. Total BTC holdings as of January 31 was 471. So total BTC converted for operations and growth in January was 467. So they sold a portion, obviously, of their coins that they had. Currently deployed fleet of approximately 20,500 latest generation Bitcoin miners with a total hash rate of 2.1 exahash. So we'll take a look at the numbers here that I have for them in my spreadsheet. The company fully funded growth in operations through the sale of 467 Bitcoins in January 2022 at an average of approximately 41,000 per BTC. January daily BTC production reached a high of 10.4 BTC per day. So great results from them. Obviously, the nice increase in hash rate. They also had a pretty good increase in Bitcoins mined. So let's take a look at the numbers here, but overall, nothing to complain by Cleanspark here. So if we look at the numbers here, first let's look at the Bitcoin production numbers. So they reported obviously 305 here for January. They had 226 in December. So a nice increase of 79 more Bitcoins in the month of January. And that was basically a 34, almost 35% increase from the prior month. So that was great to see. They obviously had increased more, so they obviously earned more on those also. So that was good to see. And then here are the miners that I have set up for them right now. So these 20 were added in, or not 20. These miners here that were mining basically for 20 days were added in. So these are the 110 terahash, the S19 Pros, and then they have also these here, which look like they might be the 110 terahash as well, the 347 here, and the ones here, the 290 at 100 terahash. So those could be the just regular and miners S19s. And that got me to, the way I figured out 20 days was I took, if they basically installed 290 miners throughout the month on average, it's working 6 days a week, how many miners could they install basically each day, and came up with basically you average out about 20 mining days total for these miners being installed here. So that's why I have 20 here as well, and 20 here. That gives us a total revenue of 12.173 million. And that is with Bitcoin price being at, let's take a look at here, the price that I have it at now, 41,500, which was the latest that I updated it with the latest numbers from Bitcoin. So looking at Cleanspark here, we do have them at 2.101 exahash, which is really close to what they're saying. They say that they have 20,500 miners. That's what I got them at as well. So going forward, these miners here will be obviously making, running for full months going forward, and all the months are by the days in each month. So we get pretty accurate numbers on what their possibilities are to earn. And what else can I show you guys here? So Btc Idle right now is 471. BTC value of that is now 21. Let me see if that is, I should update that price. That should be for the current price of February we're in. So that is almost 19 million in value on that. HODL position to market cap is basically 7.48%. And each share of their HODL position is basically 51 cents of the 683 here. Market cap of 261 million. And current hash rate is 2.1. Future hash rate is 4.2. Operational, they're about 49.8%. And on average, they have about 102 terahash per miner, which is really good. Now, so if we look at Cleanspark Bitcoin HODL analysis to their market cap, so this is market cap minus HODL. So we're taking the 261 million minus the basically 19.5 million. We're getting 241 million. ASIC value, I'm taking the 20,500 ASIC miners that they do have, multiplying it by 7,000 roughly as an estimate as far as what they could be sold for. And we're coming up with 143 million for that. So the remaining amount is the 98 million, which is obviously for, doesn't even include their facilities, their infrastructure and everything that they have in place. You could probably take away another, what, I don't know, 20, 30, 50 million for that. So you're down to maybe 48 million. That's being basically, that's not shared. Basically, the 48 million is basically what's driving the price or what's being invested in for their future hash rate, basically. So I have a few, price earnings, future earnings, which is 60, which is taking the, this price, and I got to update that too as well. Let me see here. Add it from the bit farms over to here. And we're at 0.66 for Cleanspark as far as what their multiple is in my respect. In that regard. Right now, for the full year, if everything stayed the same, nothing has changed, they would be at 148 million in revenue. That's obviously Bitcoin stays where it's at, hash rate stays where it's at, everything stays where it's at. And then if we're looking at this quarter potentially and the prior 3 quarters, we're looking at a combined total of 101 million. So even at 50% net income from gross revenue, we're looking at a stock price with a price earnings multiple of 10 at 1322. And then if we're going to use a 75% net income from gross revenue and a price earnings multiple of 10, you're looking at 1982. So in my opinion, they are at 683. Way undervalued in my opinion. Even if we go up higher to 20, I don't think a lot of miners aren't getting 20 price earnings multiple. But some are. Obviously, Marathon has gotten higher than that, so has Riot. So it's possible that they could get that far. So we're looking at 2643 and 3965, and then possibly 58 here for the end of the year if everything stayed the same. But I believe things are going to be going up. Bitcoin price is probably going to go up towards the end of the year, and my best estimate. And obviously, hash rate is going to go up. But as long as they keep installing more miners, their income should be going up as well. So that's where we are at with Cleanspark. I think there's nothing else. I mean, they still have obviously a lot of miners to get installed. That's good news. And they do have pretty good miners being installed, pretty new generation. We'll have to see the other miners that are getting the newer miners, the ones that are the 140 terahash, which they do not have here, will obviously do a little bit better. But depending on the miners that they have prior, the old generation miners, they can obviously offset their hash rate average per miner, but right now they have a really good hash rate per miner. So that is it. Let me know what you guys think of all the numbers here. Obviously, good month for January for Cleanspark. Interesting to see how they're going to do in December. Oh, there's one other thing that I wanted to show you guys. I think I have it on here. Yep. So petahash dollar cost or dollar per petahash per miner. So we're taking the total earnings so far for January, dividing it by the hash rate. And we're coming up with a number here of roughly 5.8 thousand per petahash. So we'll keep that also going for all the miners, and then we'll see which one has the best numbers for that. Some of the ones that have the GPU miners, obviously, I think will do a little bit better because it's hard to calculate all that stuff and not keep it. It gets a little confusing, but I'll explain it as best I can going forward. But so let me know what you guys thought. Obviously, have a great Friday. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to do the next one on, I think I'm going to do Hive video. Also provided their updates. So we'll do one on Hive, and then we'll call it a day for today, and then we'll do Marathon and Riot over the weekend, along with the Miner versus Bitcoin video tomorrow. And that's it. As always, if you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, notification bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps me out tremendously, and that's all I ask of you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.